So, apologies, the names are a little messed up here. We haven't quite got them in yet. That's why I said we didn't quite have them in yet. So we have Amulet Titan against Grixis.
Well, I can only imagine we're going to take the Dryad here.
Dryad, potentially find an answer for prime time later. It kind of depends what you take based on your hand, because Saga's your plan here is land Monkey Saga next turn, land maybe make a construct. I don't know. He takes Monkey.
What? Okay. So I'm looking at chat real quick. Indianapolis, yes, we have a bunch of people going to Indy. The Apex is better than SEG. I like that.
W.
The BMI is correct for Magic players in the room. Sure. How many rounds do we have? We have 6 rounds and kept the top 8, so 9 rounds total.
Correct.
And yeah, we are doing giveaways. And how do you enter? At the end of each round, we will let you know that you need to be following the stream. You need to type exclamation raffle after we have told you that the raffle has started. You'll have a 5 to 10 minute time interval to type in chat, and then you will be a winner will be randomly picked. Monkey was a good pick. I mean,
Monkey makes sense. It'd stop your acceleration plan if you think you have enough to answer it. It's just like, I was a little surprised, I guess, more than anything. Also surprised we led with the Forest instead of a Saga once her Monkey was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Because the plan would have been Monkey Saga, go about her day. Like Forest, Monkey, Saga, next turn. Probably land, Dryad.
Mm-hmm.
If we can. But we're land pass here. From Shadow. I'm just making threats in the stream room. I'm sorry, chat. We're not talking about the game. Alright. So we fetch up. We're thought season again. We want to take a look. The only difference is we now have 2 more lands in our hand. And now we get to take this Dryad. Which kind of makes sense.
That's a W.
Dryad just being able to accelerate us next turn for the Amulet player is pretty good. From Clutch,
I promise.
Doors involved.
I promise I don't have any ill will against Chris. He was only the person that knocked me. He was only my loss getting into top 8 at Clutch. It's fine.
So we got some potential bad blood from streamer to player.
No. I was happy for him because at the end of the day, I don't want to take placements away from people that are actually trying to get into the final tournament.
Yeah,
but I still like winning, so you know.
Yeah,
it's a hard battle.
So for Shadow, can't imagine all these lands are incredible for you. Also, I think we had a little debate on whether we wanted to swing as Dragon Race Handler. I'm gonna be honest, I don't quite know how much it matters. Kind of just on the fact that like the creatures that matter, tramplers.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I guess it makes sense if you're like, oh, I'm gonna block all these tokens.
I guess.
He makes a construct, and that's one of the craziest parts about Saga is the fact you get to draw before. Whereas like there for a while, they actually happened before you draw, didn't they?
Yep.
So like they made these newer ones happen after you draw, and that's so important because if Chris would have been like, oh, that like on top is it like a monkey? We're not making this construct because we're just gonna float the mana, put this amulet in play a Simic, untap like bounce it, put a monkey in, make that extra mana that we need, and then put a Primeval Titan in play. So never mind, you just had another amulet.
Yeah, we just have it though.
So this is a 4/4 swinging, which is also just good, I guess. When your opponent's at 9, just making these 4/4 constructs is also an easy game plan to do.
It's coming for me. I was happy for him. Copium. Well, you know, yeah. But had I won that match and made top 8, I would have actually been the very 8th person, and then I would have played TJ. So I just would have given TJ. I just would have gave TJ the win. Be like, yeah, go for it. Go get him, Buckaroo. My two losses that day did both top 8 though.
Nice.
Yeah, I went 4-2 that day. Both my losses top 8'd.
We're putting another land in the graveyard. I'm gonna be honest. He doesn't even have Delirium.
No.
His plan was to unholy heat that, hope to get Delirium and kill it, and instead he unholy heated it, lost his DRC, now has Delirium, and he didn't even get to kill the Saga token. That, on the side of Chris, is what we call W.
Thank you, bad Korean boy, for the follow.
For Brandon,
that's
just
it.
It's a sad L. Because, like, realistically, how often is that going to be a land on top with how many lands you have and already have in the bin? Like, this is just one of those variance games that it just feels incredibly bad. Because, like, Chris hasn't even done any Titan stuff yet. He's just like, I'm just going to make Sagas to kill you.
Yeah.
Like, you've had to fetch Shock because you're playing Death Shadow. Like, he's going to get to play Death Shadow here, but, like...
He's going to go up to 3 5/5s.
Yeah. It's just, like... And the other issue is, like, it's hard to block with Luris. Because you're going to gain life, depending on how he swings. And it could potentially cause you to lose your Death Shadow. And we need to pay attention, because Death Shadow Mass is going to happen in combat. And we all love how this works. So, get your pen and pencils, boys and girls.
Both contracts.
Yeah, they're both constructs.
Yep. High start. Yeah, no legacy today. Correct. No legacy. Modern 2K.
Modern 2K, and then there are a couple side events for drafts. We actually have a couple new people that are coming trying to learn. Person brought them specifically so they could see a bigger event and see that people play it like competitively and whatnot. So there is like a stage beyond just like
your table,
casual play,
your kitchen table,
your kitchen tabletop.
Yep.
But I don't think they've ever played Magic before. We get a couple people willing to come help them out in their draft, you know.
K Gauge with you should be banned from the feature matches if you don't have the correct tokens. All right, please ban everyone that comes to the shop on a regular.
I have tokens. Don't you let me in? I got 5.
You have 5 construct tokens in there?
Yeah, because I got a commander-sized deck box I needed to fill up.
True.
So, we play a Primeval Titan. We have 2 amulets, so we also have the combo win.
Yeah, true.
Like,
very true.
We just... he could be playing the Battlements version. It gives haste a lot easier. Because it's just 1 red that you need, which this indicates to me it's the Battlements version.
Well, I know that's the version he's playing because that's the version that I played against.
Well, so hear me out.
Yeah.
The only difference is like 3 lands. It's
True.
Well, some of the other ones you kind of go down on copies.
But that one right there.
But this one is the important one. It's just give get my Primeval Titan haste, untap him again. Swing him. We're gonna figure out how he wants to do blocks here, and then we're probably gonna make a construct to grow our board. Here's another saga. And another saga. So if he's not dead this turn, we are, as the Titan player, trying to ensure that he's going to be dead in the next couple of turns. Because like he's just going to keep making these big thick boys. It's not a whole lot you can do. Because he's also at 19.
Kanado, why is he not conceding? Well, good question.
I think you make him reveal more if you can. Like, it just is what it is.
Granted, up until now, we didn't know that he was on the Battleman's plan.
Yeah. Like, that would be the main reason I would wait. Hope to see if he's on that plan or the other plan, because it matters when you start hitting him with Ragavan to know whether if you hit the one land, what he has, or, because again, he could have, in theory, went and got the other lands, gave it double strike. But.
All right. I'm trying to understand this. So lifelink, go to 8. Take 5, go to 3. Cannot trample over. Okay. So, yeah. 3 is where we shoot. Okay.
Again, not technically dead.
Just
but we're
very
not
close.
very good at living at this present either.
No.
Because
Dryad land is dead.
well, because next turn it's just make a construct.
Yep.
Like go fetch another amulet, make them bigger, or an expedition map if you want, because you don't really need an amulet. And then you're just gonna be like, all right, make 2 more constructs.
How many outs does Chris have to just like kill him here?
I mean,
between packs and dryads and any land.
Well, I mean, the outs are just on the board.
Yeah.
Like realistically. I can't imagine there's a ton he can do. I mean, maybe Brandon can prove us wrong. Maybe he has a series of plays he thinks he could do in order to win this game. I personally cannot see it.
Amulet for the win, hitting the follow.
Yeah, it's like dress down.
Yep.
The only issue is, again, we dress down here, we kill these ones. And then he just makes 3 more.
Yeah.
And then we gotta have dress down again. We've already lost our Luris, so it'd have to be another copy of dress down. Or I guess you could do it on instep so it doesn't sack, so he couldn't make him technically the next turn.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think this is where you would just, as Chris, go get expedition map instead. Get a Simic land if you have a T-West, or get a Teleria West, because you have Simic Growth Chambers in your hand. So
and real quick, Beastie Cheese, I agree. Like choice tokens are always really cool to see.
yeah, so here he's probably just deciding. I mean, he's playing around dress down / I guess drown in the luck.
Sure.
Hind's eye view, we know Brandon has drown in the lock. But I would believe, again, I would personally get, unless he has one in hand already, I think I'm getting an expedition map to get a Teleria West.
Yeah.
In my opinion. That could be wrong.
I guess we don't have the blue.
If you just go Simic land, play a Titan, then yeah, you got me.
Yeah.
Because he does have Simic Growth Chamber in hand. But again, I don't know what the other 4 are. I know he has 2 Simic Growth Chambers. And
4.
Radiant found 3 Simic Growth Chambers.
We also have 6. Like Chris has 6 cards in the bin.
But he also gave that Saga token haste. Yeah. It could, like, it's also that easy. I'm just saying that plan doesn't play around dress down as much. Whereas, like, I'm pretty sure you can just went and got Titan, or even you grabbed the Valakut already. You go to TOS Summoner's Pact, grab the Dryad, and just double Valakut him with your Simic Growth Chamber. Like, there was a lot of ways that the Amulet Titan player could have won there. Smiley face. All right.
Let's see.
All mulligans.
Chris, if you could fan your hand toward the camera, please.
Yeah, just
like
a little peek.
Like Brandon's nice enough.
He kind of peeked it. Oh no, he puts it in a bag. That's why.
Okay, and if it was a game, it'd be like, let's go, and just like showed the world. But
here's Brandon. Listen, I'm gonna show you my hand. You can concede at any time.
Yeah,
can you imagine Alpha?
Brandon's like, well, I have my thought seized, so I can get rid of something. And it's just like land, 3 amulets. You're like, oh no, I'm just dead.
I did that to one of the employees yesterday. Oh, we played in our modern event 4-0'd it 'cause I'm champ.
Yeah.
I was playing against Jordan on Dredge, and it got to the point where I was like, Jordan, I will show you the cards in my hand. And I like set him on the table. I was like, all right, try to win. It was just like everything I ever wanted.
Yeah.
Along with like a big graveyard, and he didn't have anything to bring back with my living in.
Jeez.
I was like, all right, man, good luck. Got him. So we're down to 5.
Really think about it. We definitely need to throw that land back.
The Battlements needs to go back in the bin. So that is kind of the good part about that land, is you're not too upset if you draw that one.
Yeah.
Whereas the other versions, you're kind of like, could have been anything else.
Yep.
Like, because like if you draw the combo land, now you have to like play your Simic Growth Chambers and then play it next turn.
Mm-hmm.
And you have more of a chance of that happening because you're playing 3 important lands, so 4 because technically Vesuva as well. But like this list is playing Vesuva, but different reason, because as a land it's really good for a deck that untaps your land drops.
Remember, it's Storm, but for lands.
Those are what we call W's.
Bubba, look at Chris's top card. It's yeah, the Sanctuary. Draw. We had that is the Thoughtseize, right? No, that's a Shadow. Okay.
We have an EE, I think, in Amulet's hand as well.
E on 1 go burr.
Blows up our Amulet.
Yeah.
But they play 2, because like you lose an Amulet, they lose 2 DRCs and a Death Shadow. You're like, all right, cool.
This is fine.
I'll call that one a good one. So he's now forced to show us his hand.
That. Chris being nice, he doesn't have to let him write those cards down.
Yeah, once you reveal the cards and you pick it up, like they pick the card, you technically don't have to show them again.
Yep. Chris being a nice guy.
I mean, yeah, because it's kind of like, it's just a...
Yeah.
This is a nice thing to do, because, like... Come on, bro. So, we see the castle come down. We have 1 card in hand, unknown. Castle entered untapped anyway.
Yep.
So, worst part for Brandon here is you had to play the land to get the blue source for your Express Federation, which means if this flips over lands,
chalked.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Unless it's like, although I guess you're not too upset because it could flip over lands that you put in your hand, and then you're just like, all right, put Monkey into play.
Yeah.
Put Monkey in the exile, and then you just do it that way. So it's not really like, it's not too big of an issue. It just kind of, you always want to get that land value when you can.
Oh no, we're just gonna play.
But we're gonna play a 1/1 Shadow.
Yeah.
And get in there for
1.
Yeah. 1. Gross.
Thoughtseize, land, bauble. That's 3 lands in there. Okay.
Yeah. Again, sad part for Brandon is we just have a ton of lands. get a Saga down. It looks like we have an Endurance in hand.
Chris, if you could please use less reflective sleeves. You would like to.
All jokes, all jokes.
all memes, all memes.
So hard part here.
No, but
is
seriously.
just flashing this in, talking to Ben, and then it get terminated. But that leaves your Saga tokens to do whatever they want. So it was like not awful for you. But we go to 9. Death Shadow's getting bigger. Combat. Swing them. Endurance. Tuck them. With 4 blocks, I would imagine this is getting terminated. He talks in a random order. A little less relevant when it comes to, like, say modern, because you're probably going to shuffle it. But 4 blocks, Dragon Rage trigger. Another land. Another land on top. It gets bent. We get hit for 4? 5?
5.
That Shadow Matt's hard for me.
Yep.
It's a struggle bus out here for your boy. We have a drown in hand, bend the land on top, so we're not aware of what it is for the shadow player. No way to fetch it away, even if we did know. You know, Expressive Iteration and Drown seemed like 2 pretty good cards to have backed up with your with 2, and you got the E out of the way, the engineered explosives, so like you're not even worried about that. Because like this is the part where he generally always shows up and goes, all right, play this for 1. So, a little, like, slight mistake. He planned to play the forest again. So he just, like, played his bounce land. It was like, do this. Like, he played bounce land, made the 3 with the forest. So he was going to float the mana, but just left it in. Because he was going to be like, all right, I'm going to play this forest back down.
Yeah.
Because you get priority back before, like, even if he were to kill the Dryad, he's still going to get that priority back. To play the forest again, so there's not a way to brick him on the land. To be like, actually, you don't get an extra land.
He just looked at the top card of his library for no reason.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, he bought his opponent and looked at his top card.
Oh.
Oh, okay. We got a judge coming.
Oh, hey, chat.
Hi, chat. You can see us in the class.
Yep. So.
Alright. So while the judge is there, we're going to hop on to one of these other matches real quick. Or you don't think so? This might be a situation where we might have to unlock the door.
I'll just go.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I just know Aaron might knock on the door. Just like, yeah. Find out if there was like any game roll things or whatever. Alrighty. I kind of assumed the plan there was to shuffle. Because that's kind of what happens, like especially whenever you do something like Expressive Iteration, you accidentally draw 4, you put the last one on top, you shuffle it up. Or whatever. And then, but the problem is like you start getting into the warnings because you do 2 of them. You get banned. You don't actually get banned, but you start receiving losses. Solving our Expressive Iteration, we get a Bobble, another Expressive Iteration, and a Culligan's Command. So we put the Expressive Iteration in hand, Culligan's Command on the bottom, and the Bobble. Unless I, for whatever reason, mixed those two up. Yeah, I sure did. He puts the express variation on the bottom. All in case the command to his hand.
Gotcha.
And the bobble and the exile. Because I'm a toddler, can't see.
For those of you wondering, the penalty that was given out was a warning by the judge.
Yeah.
For looking at extra cards, but just a warning.
It's generally, like I was saying, it's generally like two of those, and then you start running into issues.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey man, I'm gonna need you to stop. Also, here's your game loss.
Hey, let's go. Rich Boy X? Or Rich Boy? No, there's no
Rich
U.
Boy X. We're gonna go with that.
Okay, cool.
Thanks for the sub, homie. Appreciate it. We got another judge question.
Well, it's elemental, so you can imagine there's probably a few timing issues going on.
Yeah, sorry, I put 47 triggers on the stack. I need help.
Judge, my opponent's playing Glimpse. Please sit here.
Judge. Karen, I need you to stop cracking your knuckles. Just let them deteriorate. One more?
God, it makes my knuckles itch.
Yeah, I know. Now
I know it's a strange thing to say, but like my joints now want to be touched. Like I want to squeeze and attempt to pop them to relieve them, but I know I shouldn't. I'm not going to.
Yeah, you should feel sorry. So, 13-9. Some homeboys in play. Some big homeboys in play. They can be drowned, I guess.
No worries. Hi from
Relic.
Thailand.
Oh, this relic's kind of nuts.
Juicy.
So, from the recent versions, I know TJ's version does not have a relic anywhere in the list, and that's who we just watched the match before. My list, so I know it's in it. Smiley face. So this one, he does have relic. Some play no relics, some play up to 3 relics because they're crazy. But you know, sometimes you gotta answer it.
Hey, chat, y'all chill out. Y'all gotta play nice in there.
Chat's very passionate. They like to go rogue. Drown. Darcy. Krieger. Leaves on top. Says, I'm going to leave it. Pass the turn. Culligan's command. Bob will draw another drown that we knew about. We drowned that out of the way, and I pretty close to just check. Yeah.
Oh my. Okay.
It was drown, and to look at another drown, draw 2 cards because upkeep and bobble, and just drown the other saga and go. Alright. Gotcha. Amulet. Starting with Valakut.
That's a good sign.
Based on what happened last game, might be relevant considering we were just playing land drop simulator.
Yep.
Bob, look at you.
Not
your card.
Your deck, not my deck.
Yeah.
Thoughtseize. Oh.
Inquisition.
Remember that thing that I said we just had to fade?
My brain instantly went that he's just flashing this endurance. It's like that's it's.
We keep those? We got a reader. Cultivator Colossus. It does a lot.
Yeah. So he is showing the endurance on the side because it's the only target that he can take. So
there's so much text.
it's so good. I love that guy. You know how funny it is to play a cavern and go, I'm gonna name plant. You name beast because a dryad is, or not dryad because a monkey man.
Yeah.
But like, it's just so much funnier to say plant.
The memes are great.
But power toughness equal to the number of lands you control, which isn't generally the relevant part when it comes to this matchup that plays 32 lands. It's generally take the 3 lands in my hand, put them into play, draw 3 cards, or keep going until you get 3 non-land cards, which are in this deck generally like, I don't know, Dryads, Azuzas, Prime Times, Summoners Packs, or relevant cards like Engineered Explosives, your relics, like cards you need in matchup.
Yep.
So it's so good with Amulet just to filter it out. And then at that point, the next time they untap, they don't need Amulets anymore. Because they just put 7 lands into play. Sometimes, if you have an Amulet in play, you play a Cultivator Colossus, it leads to putting a bunch of bounce lands into play and then jamming another Cultivator Colossus. Because they all bounce back to your hand.
Or a prime time.
Yeah, and you're just like, all right, go get 7 more lands.
Or like, oh, I already put 6 lands in play with my amulet in play. Well, I guess I'll stop drawing cards eventually, and I'll probably just draw gas and play something else.
Honestly, one of my favorite wins I've ever had with this deck, as we get Thought Seized, was I played a Prime Time and went and got 2 Simic Growth Chambers with 2 Amulets in play. Because he had like exile, I had the combo lands in hand, so I couldn't win that way. And then I was like, grab 2 of those, make 8 mana, put them back in my hand, jam a Cultivator Colossus, which then put 15 lands into play. And I untapped, and I was like, do you still want to play? Or I'm going to play a Dryad, and I'm going to start Valakiting you. And he goes, oh, no, I'm good, I'll go home. I was like, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Well, I think Chris is going to be staring down a 2-1 record to start the day. I don't think I necessarily agree with that keep. Hazardous Yoshi, thanks for the follow.
Well, it's really weird, right? Because the keep is somewhat fine because you have endurance. It's like good against your match that you're playing, and you have 2 threats. So, like, if your opponent just goes somewhere, like, or they only thought sees you, it's like, are you going to take the thing they could play early? That makes your deck a little bit worse. Not necessarily worse, but, like, makes your DRC smaller, and you're probably going to lose one because they're going to wait until you have to attack with it. Or are they going to take it, and then you just slowly play lands until you're, like, Primeval Titan, and they're like, ah, yeah, that makes sense. Because on the Battleman's version, you do get to be a little more aggressive. We have Shadow. If their dice are relevant, Chris says he's still at 20, but I do not believe so because he's been hit with Dragon Rage Chandler. We are at 11 for the Shadow player. Express Federation.
Surveil.
The card that was printing to standard, not in Modern Horizons for whatever reason.
Bonkers.
It is a 9 times out of, or let's say 99 times out of 100, a draw 2 with card selection for 2 mana. Because that seems relevant and fair.
Yeah, I played against a deck with Iteration in it this morning in Pioneer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's such a strange thing to be like, oh yeah, this 2 mana, look at 3, get 1, cast or play the other.
Yeah. Or just have it for later. We get Thought Seized again.
Oh.
It is. So, we've been drawing incredibly well for Chris. In terms of, like, how many times we've been Thought Seized / Inquisitioned, which is 3. We've lost our Endurance, both our Prime Times, and we still have a Cultivator Colossus, which, with no Amulets out, to an extent, is kind of the good one to have. Prime Time is obviously really good, but being able to dump this 5-card hand, well, 4 lands, potentially here later into, oh, jeez, and we drew a Dryad. And we have a Valakut hand. So this game is about. There's a drown. This game's about to get a little bit harder. I mean, I feel like this thing's just dead 10 times over, but I'm just saying for the 1 turn acceleration, that helps a ton.
Yeah.
You force him to use the Unholy Heat or the Drown he doesn't want to use right now because he wants to use it on your Cultivator Colossus or your other thing. Drown he's not really using on your Cultivator Colossus.
Yeah. So
but
the Colossus is 7 drop, correct?
7th. It is 7th. So it's a little bit like hard to ever drown that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you personally have to be the one putting cards into Amulet's bin.
Yeah.
For them to like ever get to that point. You just will have the Unholy Heat because the opposite effect for Amulet is like you're playing lands that make 2 mana. So like it's not gonna be your 7th land when you play your Cultivator Colossus. It's gonna be like 5th land. Because right now we're on 6 mana, able to do it next turn. And we're like, it can just get Unholy Heated. Unless for whatever reason it goes, yeah, trigger resolves. And then you just like let's them pour lands on. Can't imagine that would happen. So 6 to 13.
Oh, there's a dress down.
That's important.
Yeah.
Never mind. This game just got easier for the Shadow player.
Draw. Look at it. Think about it. Boom. Dress down. Yep, surveil. Bottom. No. Oh, that.
Go get him. He just threw Veil and you put it to the bottom, I think. Unlock the door. Yeah, he just drew the card. He veiled and. Well, I know you draw off dress down, but it was something weird. Yeah. Basically scried instead of surveilling is what happened, I think. So if just to answer your question in chat, somebody kind of already did it. In theory, if the dress down player or person playing dress down let the trigger go in the stack before doing it, sure. But with the dress down already in play, it wouldn't enter with any ability and it would just die. The only thing it would enter is like a blank XX, but it doesn't have a way to get any bigger because that text is no longer relevant. So, other interesting thing to note that might be important later. Dress down doesn't stop Dryad. Did you know that, Taryn? Layers are fun. I'll tell you, Connor, ask if you know. Do you know dress down doesn't stop Dryad?
I do know that.
It stops the land drop part.
correct.
But the fact of them being mountains, it does not stop that.
There's not.
And then you just start getting bolted. You're like, why is this happening?
There's 2 issues that we had out there. He scried instead of surveilled, and he point blank was like, when I said stop, there's a problem. He went, oh yeah, I didn't draw. So did he not draw off the dress down?
You put a card in.
He
Okay.
definitely drew.
Well, he definitely prompted asking if he just didn't draw, and I was like, I'm here to resolve this issue. So
Yeah. No, he definitely drew.
okay. Mm-hmm. He missed.
Brandon gets there.